Yo, what's up, Hustle Nation? Listen, man, you're broke by design. And let me warn you, if you don't want to fix it, you don't want to listen to this message. This message will remove your excuses for being broke, for being unstable financially, for not understanding how the system is taking advantage of you. If you are not trying to escape the proverbial matrix, do not listen to this message. This is my fair warning to you up front. I'm going to give you a game plan that can and will transform your life if you execute it, right? But I understand, man, that most people have what's called Stockholm syndrome when it comes to this economic system. We've been beat down by it for so long that we actually fight to protect it. So I'm going to give you a game plan today, but if you're not about transformation, you might want to skip this one, because the one thing I love about your brain is it can never unlearn something. It can't unsee what you're going to see today. So I'm giving you a fair warning. If you are not seriously looking for a solution, then skip this video. For those of you who do not know me, my name is H. Cortez, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur for MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. It is the premier digital marketing mastermind for entrepreneurs looking to leverage social media and the internet to build attractive, powerful, and profitable personal brands. If you're not part of that mastermind, you are missing out, my friend. So when I say you are broke by design, that's exactly what I mean. Jose Delgado, good afternoon or good morning, depending on what time of the world you're tuning in from. And if you're already in business, go ahead and comment the name of your business and or your brand. And I'll try to keep this short to within 15 minutes or so. But first thing we've got to understand is that America is a business, right? America is a business. It was created for business people, by business people, to benefit business people. And that's the way it is. I didn't make the rules. I just understand that I must learn the rules and learn how to play. That's the first thing you have to understand. America is a business, right? And because if you are a citizen of this country, meaning you were born into this country, then believe it or not, you were born a business as well. No more can I, as a Black man, give birth to a child or conceive a child with a woman that is not a Black man. You are not born into this economic system other than anything than what this economic system is. America is a business. Therefore, every human being born in America is also a business. Wait, what, Cortez? Yes, in America, if you were born in America, you were born an entrepreneur. You were born a sole proprietor. Your social security number is an EIN. It is an employer identification number. We call it social security number for those of you who are not doing business. But best believe you are born a business, right? Everybody loved when Jay-Z said, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man." Well, guess what? So are you. Now, here's the trick, though. The penalty that you pay in this country for not doing business, though, is high taxes. So let's get this straight. I want to keep you guys in line. America is a business. Therefore, all of the offspring born in America are also little businesses. Just like me being a Black man, I lay down with a woman and we conceive a child. That child is a Black child, no matter what the nationality of the woman is, right? America can only birth businesses because America is a business. So the moment you were born and entered into this space, this economic condition, this capitalistic democracy, you were born a sole proprietor. Now, because you were born a business doesn't mean that you learn how to do business. On the right side of capitalism, we know how to do business, right? We know how to do business. Most of us are just doing business only on the consumer side. And that's by design. That's why you're broke. That's by design, people. That's why you're broke. They only teach you how to do business as a consumer because the powers that be put all of the stuff in place in terms of the school systems and everything to create the person that you are today. You have been designed, right? The technical term is socially engineered. You have been made to be who you are unless you have created your own intervention, right? So America is a business. Therefore, when you were born in America, you were born a business, you were born a sole proprietor. But if you never learn how to do business on the right side of capitalism, the penalty you pay for not conducting business is high taxes. Here's the way America looks at you if you only work a job. America is looking at you like, look at my son over there. Look at my daughter over there. They were born business owners, but they refuse to own a business. They're not bringing anything to the table. Now, I know you as an employee, you think you're bringing something to the table. Man, I work hard on my job. And that's true. I'm not taking that away from anybody. But when you got employed, was there a building already there when you showed up for that interview? When you got the job, was there a computer, a laptop, cell phone? Was there a customer list for you to call? Was there infrastructure already in place? Yep. But because you didn't bring any of that to the table, you don't get very many tax breaks. See, the way the government set this thing up says, listen, if you are contributing to the gross domestic product of this country, meaning you're creating a product or service that's going to help us with our national debts and all of that kind of stuff, fund our politicians, then we're going to give you some tax breaks. What does an employee contribute to the national gross domestic product? Not a whole lot. So an employee is on the bottom of the totem pole in terms of the amount of taxes that employees pay. Now, this is no knock on anybody who's working a job. But I will say this, if you are working a job only, then know what you're signed up for. A job only says I paid the absolute most in taxes, point blank and period, right? Most people don't realize how much they are paying in taxes, right? Think about it. If you are paying 25% in federal taxes, another 7 to 9% in state taxes, that's 32, 33% right there. Then you pay another 7 to 9% in sales taxes on everything you buy. Now we're looking at 40%. Then if you own property, you're going to pay personal property tax. If you own real estate, you're going to pay real estate tax. That's another 5% annually. So you're looking at 45% of your income has gone to Uncle Sam. That's taxation for you not bringing anything to the table in terms of contributing to the gross domestic product of this country. Uncle Sam is sitting back saying, okay, if you don't want to build a business, if you don't want to build an enterprise in this free enterprise economy, that's up to you. But you were born a sole proprietor. But if you don't want to do business, that's cool. We're just going to tax you more than we tax any other entity. That's just how the game goes. Now, because I'm a business owner, I'm bringing something to the table. Uncle Sam says, okay, well, if we give you as a business owner, entrepreneur, tax breaks, then chances are you're going to be smart enough to leverage those tax breaks and grow your income and scale your business until the point where you can actually hire employees. So it says we can either tax the entrepreneur, which is one person, right? We could tax Sam Walton. We could tax Jeff Bezos. We could tax whoever the founder of or the CEO of Microsoft is now and all that. We could tax those individuals. Those are just one individual. Or we could tax the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of people that these companies employ. So instead of taxing Sam Walton, one man, even though he's worth $100 billion if he was alive today, instead of taxing him all of what they can on his 1 billion, how about we tax the 1 million employees of Walmart? That's how it works, guys. So employees, no taxes. Now you get tax breaks based on a few things that you're just born into, right? If you get married, that's a form of doing business. That is two enterprises entering into a contract to build something together. If you have children, you're going to get some tax breaks for that. America is trying to reduce its carbon footprint. If you buy an electric car or go green, you're going to get a tax break for that. But you don't get near as many tax breaks if you would if you just start doing business. You got to do business. You were born an employee. And when you are not doing business on the right side of capitalism, the penalty you pay is high taxes. So employees, very few tax breaks. Employers, a goo-gob of tax breaks for the business owner. But you know who gets the most tax breaks? The people who finance the business owner. See, as a business owner, when I want to expand my inventory, I want to expand my infrastructure, then I go to the bankers and borrow money to expand. That expansion allows me to hire more people for the government to tax, right? So they give the bankers the most tax breaks. The bankers finance the businesses hire the employees. Everybody can't get tax breaks. So the low man on the totem pole with very few tax breaks is the employee. Now, you want to know the greatest yet most underutilized tax shelter in this country? It's a home-based business. We know that real estate creates some forms of tax shelters. We know if you wanted to evade taxes altogether, then you can move money overseas and all that kind of stuff. No, but I'm talking about legally, ethically, and morally creating a tax shelter which keeps your money from Uncle Sam, giving you access to it so you can do more with it. Guys, every working American in this economy should have a home-based business. Every one of them. Every single one of them. Why? Because just like I'm sitting in my home office, now I rent where I live, so that means 20% of my rent every month is a tax write-off. Every month I'm gonna pay rent whether I got a business or not. So because I have a business, then I get to write off 20% of my rent every single month. My cell phone bill, every single month, 80% of my cell phone bill is a tax write-off. Now, you got a cell phone too. But because you're not doing business on the right side of capitalism, you don't get to write off your cell phone bill. You pay for internet just like I do. But because you're not using Wi-Fi to connect with an audience that's going to allow you to potentially sell a product or service, you don't get to write off your internet bill. You drive your car every day, but the difference between you driving your car and me driving my car, every 2 miles you drive your car, you might as well throw $1 out the window. Every 2 miles I drive my car, I'm getting a tax deduction, which is lowering my tax bill. See? The cost that you pay, the penalty that you pay for not doing business on the right side of capitalism. And just if you're confused about what the right side is, there's the consumer side and there's the producer side. You need to get on the producer side of capitalism. The number one tax shelter in this economy is a home-based business. Because if you make, let's just say you make $100,000 a year on your job. Now, I'm not good with math off the top of my head. I'm an old pencil and paper. I still got to borrow from this number and carry this number and all that kind of stuff, right? But let's just say you made $100,000, right? Now, you're going to get a standard deduction. Let's just say you're a couple. You're going to get a standard deduction of about $25,000. That means they're going to subtract that from the $100,000 that you and your spouse made. So that means you're responsible for paying taxes on $75,000. Now, what's 40% of 70,000? 75. Well, 10% of 75,000 is 7,500. So 20% of 75,000, which would be 7,500 times 2, which is 15,000. So 15,000 times 2, which would be 40% of 75,000, would be what? $30,000 you will pay in taxes if you make 100 grand. Right? Now, let's look at if you understand, you're no longer ignorant, right? People think ignorance is an insult. No, you're ignorant when you don't know something. You're stupid when you learn something and you don't do anything with what you learn. That's why I told you at the beginning of this video, do not watch it if you don't want the answer. Because I'm going to give you the answer. So you make $100,000 on your job. Standard deduction for a couple is about 25 grand. So they're going to take the 25 grand away from the 100,000. Now you pay taxes on 70 or 75. 40% of 75,000 is 30,000 is what you're going to pay in taxes. Give or take. I'm not a tax professional. Let me give you my disclaimer. I'm not a CPA enrolled agent, none of that stuff. But give or take, you're going to pay about 30,000 in taxes. Now, let's put you on the right side of capitalism as a producer and not a consumer. Now, you made that same $100,000 on your job, but because you have a business and you are trying to make a profit, you kept your records of all the things that you spent and invested in trying to make a profit. They get to subtract all of that stuff from the 75,000 before their tax bill is calculated. So we're at 75,000, and say you drove 20,000 miles because you wrote a book and you're all over the country trying to sell this book, right? Well, for kicks and giggles, if you drove 20,000 miles, 57.5 cents, we're going to round it down to 50 cents. So 20,000 miles for business trying to sell your book, that's going to equal a $10,000 tax deduction. Just one deduction. So you're at $10,000 that you get to subtract for your 75 before your tax bill is calculated. So now instead of me being taxed on 75,000, I'm going to be taxed on $65,000. And that's just one tax deduction. Now, watch this. Say you've got children, and when you do your book signings, they help you with your social media. They pack your books up and take them to the post office with you and ship them out. Say you got 2 children and you pay each one of those children $1,000 per month. Now, let's just say you paid each one of those children $10,000 a year. So that's $20,000 that you paid your children to help you sell your books. So now we got to subtract the $20,000 from the $65,000. Now my taxable income, $20,000 from $65,000, is $45,000. That's just 3 tax deductions: my mileage, my wages that I paid to my employees, which happen to be my children, right? Those are 2 tax deductions that now our taxable income is already down $30,000. Now, guess what? You also did some business travel. So when you was driving around all those places trying to sell your books, you had some hotel expenses. You had to pay for hotels. You had to eat while you were out of town. You had to feed your employees if they were with you, right? So say you had $5,000 worth of travel expenses. Now my $45,000 in tax deduct, my taxable income of $45,000 just dropped to $40,000. Now keep in mind, if you guys are doing the math with me, before I was doing business on the right side of capitalism, I would have paid $30,000 on my $100,000 that I earned. But already, because I've done business, I've had $10,000 in miles deduction. I paid $20,000 to my 2 employees, which happened to be my children. And then I paid another $5,000 in expenses. So my $75,000 tax deductible income is now $40,000. Now, what is 40% of $40,000? Right? Well, 10% of $40,000 is $4,000. So then 20% would be $8,000. 8,000 times 2, which would be 40, is $16,000. Because I'm on the other side of capitalism, I just cut my tax bill down from $30,000 to $16,000. I know it's a lot if you don't see the visuals, and maybe next time I do this, I'll put some slides up so you can see what I'm talking about. But you see now why you can no longer afford to not have a business. No matter what that business is. Now, if you want to partner with me and I show you how to start a business, I've got a couple of opportunities that I can help you with, then yeah, let's do that. But even if you didn't, let's just say you took $50 and you invested in Avon, for instance. That's a business. I know people don't like network marketing businesses, but that's a business. The IRS likes it. The IRS has a code for direct sellers, so they must be cool with it, right? Maybe you don't want to do direct selling. Maybe you make your own jewelry at your kitchen table. Maybe you bake the best cookies in town. Maybe you can write a book. Maybe you got a trade skill like you're a plumber or electrician, or don't matter what it is, man. You need to be doing business on the right side of this economy. And that's as a producer, not as a consumer. And you legally, ethically, and morally lower your biggest bill that you have, which is your taxes. Now, if you're smart, when you save that money on taxes, you'll take the money that you save and you'll use that to get out of debt. You'll use that to invest. You'll use that to build your emergency fund, right? So the tax code is the #1 wealth building tool in the world. The #1 tax shelter in America is a home-based business. But you got to learn the game, man. We actually have a team of professionals that can help you execute everything that I just said. They can help you hire your children. They can help you formulate your business. You can even get in business with us and join our extra digit movement and let us show you how to become a financial educator so you can start teaching and empowering others with this information I'm sharing with you today. If that sounds like something you want to at least get more information on, I'm not saying you want to join. I'm saying if you at least want to get more information on, then I need you to text me keyword. What is the keyword for today? Penalty. Text me your name and keyword penalty to 314-874-6887. I'll send you a video. You'll get to see what it is that we do, how we do it. If it makes sense, you can partner with us. If it doesn't, that's fine. Just make sure you go find something that's going to allow you to get on the other side of capitalism, the producer side, so you can legally, ethically, and morally lower your taxes. The reason you don't have money to invest, the reason you don't have money to save, the reason you don't have money to actually pay off your debts and you're only paying on your debts is because you're giving 40% of your money to Uncle Sam. And that's by design, y'all. They'll never teach you how money really works. They'll never teach you how business really works. So you've got to find those answers on your own. When it comes to teaching money, they teach you how to spend money and they teach you how to do transactions. They teach you how to work for a company that deals in money, but they never teach you how money actually works. When it comes to business, they'll teach you the administrative skills. They'll teach you the managerial skills so that you can run somebody else's business, but they'll never teach you the power of entrepreneurship so you can start one. You got to figure that part out on your own. So hopefully this made sense. I'm 10 minutes over, 12 minutes over. I try to keep it under 15 minutes, but I get so passionate about this stuff, man, because I want y'all to win, man. I want you to win. And the shortest distance between working class and wealthy is entrepreneurship. It's the shortest distance between going from from working class to wealthy. The shortest path is entrepreneurship because of what we just said. So that makes sense to you guys. You can text me the keyword penalty to 314-874-6887 if you want to partner with me. You want me to coach you in business, help get you started. If not, I say, this is why I love what you teach, man. Listen, bro, I want people to win, man. I want people to win. And winning is, you got to use the #1 tax shelter in this country, which is the home-based business. That gives you access to leverage the #1 wealth building tool in the entire world, which is the U.S. tax code. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end mine. Poor and middle class people see Uncle Sam as their enemy. Wealthy people see Uncle Sam as their partner. The super wealthy see Uncle Sam as their little trick, right? There's another word that I want to use, but my wife said I can't cuss on the stream, right? Poor and middle class people see Uncle Sam as their enemy. Wealthy people see Uncle Sam as their partner. The super wealthy see Uncle Sam as their trick. It's time for you to get in the game, man. Until next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.